Okay, this is my review on South Central Baddies season 6, episode 3. Okay, I like how Donya is kind of speaking a bit more though, because obviously we tend to just see her in the background a lot of the episodes. Obviously, we did see her like that at the last South Central Baddies show as well, but a bit more dialogue here. I wanted her to run her fades though, but she hasn't run any fades so far. I can't understand what Chili Bobo is trying to say, or Boo Boo, whatever it is, about ET. It doesn't make sense because she's a mentor. She's meant to be bonding with the people that are new to the show. So you're upset that she's bonding and you're saying, oh, she should be like a mentor. But if she was to act like she doesn't want to engage with you and whatever and stuff, you guys would be saying she's uppity or she's stuck up or this, or then you'd create an issue with her. So it's like you can't win either way. And finally, Cash arrives after so long. Like, it was taking 10,000 years for her to get here. Then you have Ivory and Scarface just waiting on Cashmere. It's like, it's gonna be a long day if she ever has to run those two fades on the same day. I feel like with Cashmere and Ivory as well, it always gives like blow to blow. So it's like, I'll give this round a tie if I'm honest, because I don't see anyone technically losing the fight. Like, if I'm honest, and there was so much going on as well, I was getting overstimulated because I'm seeing Brie and Jazz fight, then I'm also seeing Ivory and Cashmere fight, and it's like I'm trying to like not slow it down, but I'm trying to pause and see whose punches are hitting and who's on. Sorry, hitting's the wrong word. Connecting is the right word. I liked Brie and Jazz's fight. At the very beginning, Jazz was connecting more than Brie. Brie was more like hitting Jazz and her neck and stuff. She wasn't really hitting her properly, and obviously we can see, I don't know if the neck hit was the reason why she fell, but it just gave that Jazz slip. But I'm thinking, what the hell did you slip on? Because there was nothing there. There was no one there. There was only space and opportunity, and you still slipped. Obviously, Brie should have got up more on Jazz when she slipped as well, but she didn't really. It's only when Jazz kind of got up off the floor, she kind of was giving her uppercuts and punching her more and stuff, but Jazz was still swinging those punches though. But then Brie was going more of the uppercut and Jazz was going more to the side of her face. I will give Brie her props though. She is getting better with her fighting as well, because beforehand she just used to really be a shit fighter. But it was funny though when Cashmere kind of snuck Jazz as well, because Jazz was talking about, oh, you could have got a one up with me, but you intentionally made your sister Ivory fight your battles, and you didn't want to basically fight Cashmere though, so what's the issue? And you would have obviously ducked the fade, or you knew Ivory was going to crash out if she was to see you and Cashmere fight. Let's be honest. If I'm honest, yes, they should have given Cashmere maybe a little break between, but I feel like that was the perfect opportunity for Cashmere and ET to fight, and I feel like they kept delaying it intentionally, production. I don't know why they're trying to do this whole build up, but I guess they're probably going to try and make the fight happen during the reunion of South Central Baddies season 6. I think also India should have been more direct with Liddy instead of doing Chinese whispers of everyone talking about, oh yeah, I want to run a fade with Liddy, or there's a miscommunication because obviously Liddy had an issue with Jayla on, I think it was like season 4 or something of South Central Baddies, or season 3. I think it was season 3 or 4. Ages ago, you could have seen Liddy since then. It's like you just needed a storyline to get on. I should also understand as well, Jayla was, or Jalen, whatever the sister's name was not Precious match when it originally happened on the show. That's why India is now trying to get her lick back with her sister. But at the same time, India is also trying to gather a storyline for herself for when she's now on obviously South Central Baddies, because this was like 2 seasons ago. You should have seen Pressure, because Pressure's in LA, you're in LA too. So what was the reason why you didn't see her and address this? Exactly, it's for a storyline. I have to give Pressure props when props are due, because one thing she's always going to stick to is leaning back and dodging every single punch as well. But Pressure was giving India a mean uppercut there. She was uppercutting her, then boxing her in the head. I was thinking like she was just like mink, mink, mink. Like, Pressure was doing straight face shots, and I was like, excuse me, because what? Pressure's getting better. So I'm so confused with this. What's going on? Pressure's saying like India or what's her sister's name? Jayla. One of them had sex with someone else's baby dad, and it's very confusing. I thought India would have cleared this up in the van rather than just repeating the same thing that Pressure said, because I would have thought she said, nah, that's not what happened to the whatever else, but she's like, yeah, that's what Pressure's saying. I'm thinking, so no one's gonna clear this up? No, honestly, E.T. and Liddy just look so cute together when they were just at that pool table. But I think also, I don't think E.T.'s scared of Kashmir though, because obviously she wanted to run the fade beforehand, but I feel like production are pushing them away from each other to the point where she can't go to her own house as well, because obviously from the beginning I think ET said, yeah, she's waiting on her car, basically she's got to get a separate car because she's not going to ride in the car with Cash, which makes sense as well, like understandable. And obviously Liddy saying that she only came on the show for ET as well, which is nice, a good support system as well, like, because I don't think ET had, not that she didn't have any other friends or whatever, but she's closer to Liddy than she is with anyone else in the house. But I think the other issue I'm having is that production keep doing this thing where they're making ET look scared when she isn't. And obviously she called Cash out of the Sprinter van as well, but then production are pushing, like, not production but security are holding Cash back, they're holding ET back as well. I'm getting tired of it as well. Why couldn't they just bring ET to that house as well? Then her and Cash could fight out and get on with their day. And I find it funny too though that everyone is just using Naj as a punching bag ever since she did the ballerina spin out of the fight with Kashmir. Like, Ivory shaded Naj about this, ET shaded Naj about this as well, saying that, I'm not going to be spinning out of here like Naj. I'm thinking, girl. And with this Kayla and C Rose thing as well, that first punch that C Rose gave Kayla woke her up, but also Kayla is closing her eyes and fighting. Closing her eyes and fighting and swinging blindly isn't going to help in this matter. Then obviously it's like, because she's getting punched so much, like the bonnet is like nearly going in her eyes, but it's not in her eyes. Just remember that, it's not in her eyes. But she's literally getting punched in her face and she's closing her eyes. I hate when they do this. You close your eyes and others. Oh, that's all I keep hearing. I have to give it to C Rose. She dominated that fight and she obviously won hands down. Then with Money Low and Lady H's as well, I was expecting Money Low to use her weight to kind of dominate the fight, but she didn't do that. Instead, she was running into the punches and getting socked in her face by Lady H's every single time, and she kept closing her eyes. If you close your eyes, like, bro, if Money Low had just opened her goddamn eyes, she would have had a better, like, she may have not won the fight, to be fair, but she would have had like a better outcome of the fight, but she didn't do that.